Hey guys, it's Chedic, and in today's video I will be covering the Metal Marauder. Now, a lot of people have been saying in Reddit and stuff, is the Metal Marauder better than the Santa's Little Helper? And well, I will be answering that question for you guys today, or within 2 minutes. So, first off, I'm rolling the Metal Marauder, crit damage, crit rating, physical, crit damage, and reload speed. For the fair sake of testing, I'm also rolling the Santa's Little Helper, crit rating, double crit damage, reload speed, and physical. Now, let's compare the two weapons. As you can see, the Metal Marauder does only 20k more damage at my combat level. If I add more combat score, if I have teammates in the game, the weapons will do more damage. However, you can notice two things. The reload speed on the Santa's Little Helper is faster, and the impact is higher on the Metal Marauder. We'll talk about impact at a later point in the video, but for now, let's talk about pure damage. Earlier, I did some calculations. The Santa's Little Helper will do 778,155 per crit shot in this situation, and the Metal Marauder will do 864,000. Now, the damage is literally comparable between 90k. However, that's where this gets a little tricky. So, the reload speed. This is what will calculate the damage per second of each weapon. And I didn't know how to, so I did a little niche way of like this. For example, let's take 10 seconds and divide that by the reload speed. 1.4 for the Santa's Little Helper, and we get 7 shots. That's what we're looking at right here. Now let's do the same thing for the Metal Marauder. 10 times 1.7, and you get, 10 divided by 1.7, and you get 5 shots. Now, it's a little bit close to 6 shots, but we're not going to give it to the benefit of the doubt, because what if in the Mythic Storm King fight, you only have 10 seconds? And in most situations, you do. So, that means you'll get 5 shots in a 10-second time frame with the Metal Marauder, and 7 shots in a 10-second time frame with the Santa's Little Helper. So, let's just do some math. We will times 778. Say if you crit all 7 shots, we'll times that by 7. And you will do 5,447,000 damage. Then we will take the Metal Marauder and we'll times that. If you hit all 5 crit shots, some people can do that, or if you could probably run wafers and you can do that too, we will times that by 5 and you get 4,323,000 damage. So, if you want to answer the question, what's stronger, the Metal Marauder or the Santa's Little Helper? Well, the Santa's Little Helper still reigns legendary king. And for the benefit of the doubt, we will just calculate the raw damage, because, you know, some people out there is like, oh, that's not true, crit stuff. Yeah, yeah, you're right. So if none of the weapons crit, we'll just times this one by 7. That's 1.2 million. And we'll times the Metal Marauder by its damage in its 10-second window. That's 1 million. The Santa's Little Helper still does more damage even if you don't crit. So, like I said, the Santa's Little Helper still reigns supreme in the damage category. If you're going to take a weapon into the Mythic Storm King fight and you don't have the Deatomizer, what you want to do is you want to grab your Santa's Little Helper. However, if you don't have the Deatomizer or you don't have the Santa's Little Helper, then I do recommend using the Metal Marauder. Now, another thing that I want to talk about, impact. Is the Santa's Little Helper useless now in terms of impact? Well, let's take a look at that too. Oh, and before we move on, you guys do know the Deatomizer is garbage, right? I did the math on the weapon, and it was garbage before I started using the MSK. The only reason I used it was because, well, it did add clearing damage. It's a bad weapon. This is going to be a wonderful video because we're going to be able to talk about Impact Guard, something that you don't often get to talk about. Now, the highest level thing in the game right now is Endurance, and the highest level impact is around 74,000. The Metal Marauder beats that with an 85,000 impact, meaning that anywhere in this game, with one shot, I will be able to stagger everything. You see that smasher right there? What the hell is going on with this game? What even is that? You see that smasher right there? With one shot, I'm going to be able to stagger him. And he's staggered. Shoot him again, and I'm able to bully this smasher where you have to wait for the animation to end. And you can just continuously bully the smasher with the Metal Marauder. So this weapon does have value in the higher level. To be able to basically stagger lock smashers is something great. However, this doesn't make it the best weapon. However, it could be a good combo weapon. Now let's move on to the Santa's Little Helper with 40k impact and show you the abilities with it in comparison with the Metal Marauder. And now I found another smasher, so let's bring him down here and ask him if he wants to be bullied. I'm just going to throw some kunais so we can hit him and wake him up. Come on down here, baby. And now let's shoot him with the Santa's Little Helper. Let's shoot him from here. And he's going to fly off. Shoot him again. Wait, we have to wait for his, oh, he's charging. You can't impact when they're charging. However, when they're done charging, I'm able to just continuously bully them. And if this weapon didn't do so much damage, I could push him off the map, or unless I might be able to. Nope. But the difference is night and day. The impact, or the knockback, on the Santa's Little Helper is higher than the Metal Marauder. Knockback is an invisible trait on both of these weapons. You will not be able to tell the knockback of a weapon, but here's an example. Here's a Husky being shot on the right side, and he gets pushed over from the side with the Metal Marauder. Here's a Husky being shot on the left side with the Santa's Little Helper. Let me just... bang. And you could see that he flies. That is knockback. It's not something the game tells you. And this could be ultimately useful in higher end gameplay. So, is the Metal Marauder bad? No, it's not. It has high impact at a decent shot without crit. Its consistency is great. Let's talk more about that. So, the Metal Marauder has great single fire damage if you're running it properly, but where it really shines is the impact on how you're able to stun lock almost everything in the game, except for, well, takers, unless you shoot them. So if I ever wanted to stop a blaster from firing, one shot the Metal Marauder will pause it. Now say if this blaster had an infinite amount of HP, I would still be able to stagger lock him and he won't be able to do a single thing to me in the game. So where does this weapon shine? In endurance in the high levels, and probably in the higher levels of Frostnite too. So is this weapon a pass? Absolutely not. Is this weapon great for damage? Well, yeah, but it's not the best. I would recommend using the Santa's Little Helper. But if you don't have that, the Metal Marauder with the rolls I'm showing you now is still pretty good. However, this doesn't mean the weapon's bad. Like I said, you can use this in the higher waves of Frostnite. If you're not going to do that, then, well, just watch me use it in the higher ends of Frostnite, and I will show you how good this weapon is. Also, it's just a decent rocket launcher overall. In the 140 missions with no boosted stats, I'm able to just destroy everything. Imagine if I had the proper build on it. This is the impact build. So yeah, the Metal Marauder is a good weapon. It's definitely worth the pickup, especially if you want to bully smashers and not let them do anything to you. However, you have to get the timing right. If you have the Santa's Little Helper though, I recommend getting one of those if you're willing to push, but the Metal Marauder is something you will use to stagger lock enemies, which is insane nonetheless. So yeah, now let's put this weapon on the tier list. And now for the tiering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 3 most popular launchers in the game right now and I'm going to tier them. So for the Atomizer 9000, the weapon I use for my first Mythic Storm kill, and the weapon you guys will probably use for your first Mythic Storm kill too. For its low damage output, but very good crowd control, I'm going to put it in the B tier. It doesn't do a lot of damage, and if I did the math and I showed you right now, it would pale in comparison to these 2 weapons. Now let's do the Santa's Little Helper. For its high damage output, decent impact, and the way you can roll it to do great impact damage, I'm going to put this in the S tier. I actually have to expand the S tier a little bit because it's a little shorter than the other tiers. Now for the final weapon, the Metal Marauder. Now, the damage is lower than the Santa's Little Helper, so you do lose out on that if you're looking at it calculated, but its great single fire damage is there. Now the last thing is its impact. Its impact is insane, but its knockback is incredibly small. However, if you run 2 impact perks, you can get more than 80,000 impact, which is high enough for power level 336 smashers, which is insane. So for event stuff and like that, if you're going to be using this in like Endurance or this coming Frostnite, it would be an S tier. However, for all of the gameplay and all of the things you do, will you use it in the MSK fight? Not really. You'd rather use the Santa's Little Helper because you can't stagger mini bosses. So until Frostnite comes and I can test out this weapon again and there, I will be giving the Metal Marauder an A tier, which is stronger than the Atomizer, but weaker than the Santa's Little Helper. And I've showed you the math and you know why I'm putting it here. So yeah, the Metal Marauder is an A tier weapon. Now let's get out to the outro. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching my video, and what should I do next? You know, I kind of want to keep on doing the dungeons, and I kind of want to keep on doing candy. I actually wanted the dungeons more than the candy. Well, I'll leave that, guys, up to you. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want to see next for me to do, and I'll do it. Maybe I should do a video on the meta heroes in Fortnite STW. That'd be a good one. Who knows? Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Toodles!